very close to contact. That had to be so close. Smoking in to the mark. It's game on. Here's an awesome race in towards the bottom gate. Have a go at the speed, 43 knots. This team is absolutely on fire.
Hello and welcome to all of you SailGP fans sitting all around the world. Welcome to this epic battle we are going to see tonight. Athletes versus gamers coming up with a special edition today, but it's also a special edition because the SailGP New York, the 2020 championship just started, and this week you can qualify to the qualifier final that will give you a ticket to the grand final. My name is Thomas Bjørn Luthi, and I will not be all alone in this studio today. Of course, I will always have some good help with me. He's sitting in London, he's with me here tonight. His name is Alec Wilkinson.
Well, I wasn't going to let you do this on your own. Athletes v Gamers, eSailGP, fantastic. Wouldn't miss it for a thing. Looking forward to it.
And Alex, 6 players coming up today. Quite interesting because today we have some new players, some upcoming talents from the gamers side. But who do we have from the SailGP side?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, we've got some upcoming talent on both sides, haven't we? We've got Denmark's youngest SailGP member. I don't know if we can have a look at them, but they're distributed and sitting around the world, all set up and ready to take on the gamers. Yeah. So it's Lars-Peter Rosendahl of Denmark.
Yeah, but let's go in and see them. They're sitting here. Let's have them live on camera. And that's Alec, and there we have.
So, as I was saying, 24 years old, the youngest member of the SailGP Denmark team, Lars-Peter Rosendahl, who's looking very serious there. Give us a thumbs up.
He's so focused there. And then we have Neil Hunter, Alec. Yeah, he's waving
Neil
up.
Hunter from the GBR SailGP team. I don't know if he's from Scotland. Are you sitting in Scotland? Thumbs up or down?
Down. He's not in Scotland.
Not in Scotland. So maybe you're not sitting in the rain then. I know it's not particularly good weather up there right now. And representing Spain.
Yeah, there we have.
Well, Rodriguez.
Alec, are you still there?
Yes, there we go. Yeah. And we have another member of the Spanish SailGP team. I'm back with you. And good to have them along. They have proved themselves over and over again throughout these competitions. We'll see how he does tonight.
Yeah, and then we have some gamers, Alex, some young talents. Let's start with the youngest, Hidde from Holland.
Yeah, let's start with the youngest. You don't get much younger than 14 years old. Here he is, Hidde, sitting in Amsterdam at the moment. Give us a thumbs up. Are you ready to go?
He's there.
Yay! Good man. Yeah. And then, well, from Amsterdam to St. Petersburg, and really an old man, 28 years old, Ivan Zotov from Russia. And it's good to have him along, his big smiley face. And then an e-sailer that we're seeing more and more of in the top competitions. Déjà, that's his racing name. He's Mike, and he's sitting in Aberdeen in Scotland.
Yeah, and quite interesting what's going to happen, Alec. We don't want to have Mike with us in studio today. We want to have Alec back with us. There you are, Alec. Alec, quite interesting what we're going to happen today, because these are the young talents of e-sailing and the talents of SailGP. So today races back to back, and after that the 2 best will go into a match race and be crowned as a winner. But before that, let's go to a small break, and then we'll get ready with race number 1.
Last TV show I binged. I mean, I watch a lot of shows, like a lot.
Oh, I'm not good with TV shows.
It might have been Peep Show.
Succession. Yeah, I watched Succession. I like that. It was interesting.
Game of Thrones.
Sex Education.
Ozark. Quite good.
I'd say the last TV series I really binged on was Suits, and that would have been about 4 or 5 years ago.
Chernobyl. Watched that on the plane.
Yeah, that was really good shit, Chernobyl. Recommend that for anybody.
Hard Knocks. I decided to watch that the other day on the way home. So I got sucked into it. I went through it in about 5 hours.
I don't know.
What have I been watching lately? I'm trying to think.
I've sort of seen everything, being a traveller, travelling around the world.
I watch them with my fiance, so I'm trying to think, but we've been away from each other for over a month now, so I'm like, oh.
Last show I binged, The Good Place. It's just interesting.
I've been watching a show called Scandal lately. It's been pretty good, kind of American politics.
Oh, I hate TV shows. I hate TV. Yeah, sorry.
And Alec, here we go. Race number 1 coming up. And in front of us, we have the Danish Vikings. You know, my heart is bleeding for the Vikings.
Yes, I know you're never neutral when there's a Dane competing. And this is our Dane for the night, Lars-Peter Rosendahl of the Danish SailGP team. We'll see how he converts to e-sailing. We'll see how he does.
Yeah, and then we have Joel. He's sitting in Spain at the moment. Let's see his picture coming in here. And there we go. The Spanish SailGP team. They have been surprisingly good in SailGP this year.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've seen both on the water in SailGP and in eSailGP, we've seen Spanish sailors coming through and really proving themselves at the top level. So we'll see how Joel does here tonight.
Yeah. And the starting procedure coming up. 1 minute left. Let's see, will it be the SailGP sailors or will it be the gamers winning it? And we can see one thing. Race number 1 is going to be out boundaries. Somehow the boundaries moved away from New York where we are. So let's see what happens. This will change the tactics a little bit. But I think more it's a graphical thing because Hidden getting a penalty for being outside of the boundaries. So they are sailing like Ghost.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is if the boundaries are there, but we just can't see them. That's the issue. Yes, we're about to find out.
Yeah.
So a couple of penalties. So if you're new to this, because obviously there's new people coming into this because of the SailGP connection. So if you're tuning into e-sailing for the first time, the penalties are those sort of red exclamation marks on the bottom left next to the names, and that slows the boats right down. In the EF50, that is a devastating thing to pick up, a penalty. It's so hard to recover from. Right, race 1 of 3 qualification races tonight. It's 3, 2, 1. They are away, and it looked like a pretty good start all round, fairly clean. It's a reaching start, so they all accelerate towards that first mark, and then they're going to turn left and head downwind, and Neil Hunter takes the lead in these early stages.
But impressive to see the SailGP sailors are in the lead. Déjà Vu, the young talent, Mike, he's in trouble. See, he's sweating there in Scotland at the moment. And then Lars coming in with speed from behind, taking over third in a minute.
Yeah, don't blink. These races are over in a flash. These boats so fast. A penalty. Ivan Zotov and Neil Hunter picking up penalties at that first bottom mark.
And he's not satisfied, the Russian. It's almost seeming like poking a Russian bear there. He is so unsatisfied. And see, Neil, he's coming back here to the mark. He missed the mark. And now he's back in the game. So a little bit hard start for Neil in race number 1.
Yeah, so a terrific start off the line, but it didn't last, and he's now at the back of the fleet. Difficult to come back from a mistake like that. A youngster from Amsterdam, Hidde, is out in front at the moment. Déjà Vu, 50 metres behind. That's certainly doable, easy to close up in these early stages of the race. Joel of Spain in third.
Yeah. And now it's interesting. Déjà Vu, I think the players can see the boundaries. It's only us not seeing them. Because Déjà Vu, he tacked up towards the top mark. The same thing Hidden do just before where the boundaries normally is. But see, it's Spanish dominance. They're really doing a great performance in eSailing. Let's see, he's sitting there in Spain and going blank at the moment. So let's go back to Holland.
But as Joel manoeuvred into the ley line, Joel Rodriguez, Hidde from Amsterdam was really travelling at full pelt and went past him and holds the lead. And he's now 100 metres ahead of his nearest challenger. So a really good place to be for the Dutchman.
Yeah. And here we have Lars. He's coming in here, rounding the mark, fighting with Neil. Neil coming back to Lars from Denmark. They're going to have a small internal battle here behind. Both of them missed the mark and got a penalty. But let's go back to the leaders. It is the youngster in the lead, but it is a SailGP sailor in second. Royal Rodriguez coming in here.
Yeah, Joel Rodriguez staying in touch with the Dutch lad, even Zotov in third. But look, Déjà Vu making a bit of a comeback and closing in on the Russian. So third place definitely up for grabs still.
Yeah, and it's not over yet. See how close these battles are. Oh, Ivan just needs to go behind Joel. Joel going to the left-hand side and watching the wind intelligence up there. That might be good. He's sailing into stronger wind. And remember, we know a player like Havuk from Turkey, one of the top sailors. He say, go for the collar, not the windsocks. And that's what Joel is doing at the moment.
Yeah, you can see the different shades in that blue ocean, and you can you get a good measure of it from that top radar. That gives you a bit of a prediction of what's going to happen in a few seconds' time. And Ivan Zotov has read it perfectly here and is coming in for a cross with Hidde of Holland. And Hidde has it. Then comes Joel Rodriguez. It's really close. Neil Hunter just drops down behind the Dutchman there.
It's very close. But see also the battle behind Alec. The battle behind Neil Hunter and Lars from Denmark. They're really fighting it here. And they're actually coming back in the race. So good upwind race for them. But let's see who is winning this one. It is the youngster or is it Joel taking it?
Yeah, remember, it's 10 points for the winner, but it's points all the way down in descending order, right down to 5 points for the last place. So it is worth battling for those final positions. So Hidde Schraffordt of the Netherlands heads towards the finish line ahead of Joel Rodriguez and Déjà Vu in the end. What a comeback from the Briton, who was at the back of the fleet at one point, but crosses the line in third. The Russian is fourth. The Dane is going to be fifth.
Maybe.
Let's just see how close
Let's see this battle. It's going to be a close battle for that fifth place.
Oh, Neil just has it. Neil Hunter just sneaks.
No, what happens? He sailed the opposite way. Did he have a glitch?
He's lost control of the boat.
Yeah.
So the Dane is going to finish in fifth, and Neil Hunter crosses the line in sixth. It's a learning curve, Neil. It really is.
Yeah, it is a learning curve. And here we see the points. One of the players came out before time, before crossing this. It didn't register it here, but hidden with a victory. It was Joel in second, Déjà Vu in third, Ivan in fourth, Lars in fifth, and Neil in sixth. What a race. And watch the stats here, Alec. Neil Hunter, he has the best start. And I have to say, the only thing that was losing this for Neil Hunter was because he missed the button mark. I don't know what happens. Let's try to ask him in the mix zone in a few sec. What happens at that button mark? I know Neil, he can hear us here. Then the youngster Hidden, best average speed. But Ivan hitting 49.5 knots downwind. What a speed. And this is the first time we are seeing a SailGP sailor taking second in race number 1. Great stuff. We will be back in the mix zone in a few sec.
The boats are powered by battery. We have a lot of electronics and hydraulics, and everything, all the pumps and hydraulic pumps run off battery power. So the only thing that's not powered by battery is the actual wing winch, which we have grinders that control that. The batteries are extremely important. It's kind of like our lifeline. If we don't have batteries that are charged, if we get low, nothing on the boat functions. So it's as simple as that. So previous season, we had generators that kind of ran overnight, that would charge our batteries on site. Now we have a container, 40-foot container, and there's a big bunch of solar panels, and basically during the day that charges the Tesla batteries, and then overnight we charge our boat batteries. So looking to be a lot more sustainable.
Charging through solar panels, it takes the same amount of time, but it's clean. So we're not running off diesel generators. We're using the power of the sun to charge these things, and it's a massive step up for us in terms of sustainability. Obviously, last year was our first season, and we were on a massive learning curve, and we've taken what we learned from last season and applied it to now, and this is where we've ended up. With the current racking system that we have, we've basically set it up so that each team has 4 batteries, so we can charge 32 batteries at any one time, all at the same time, all on the same level. So the capacity and the reserve energy that we have within the system is massive.
This setup, basically it's got to be completely mobile. We're only here for, like this regatta, we're here for 3.5 weeks. So everything comes in on the container, comes out, and it has to be packed away within 3 weeks and off on the next ship to our next event.
As far as I'm aware, we're the first people to try it. We are trialling it on this container only at the moment, but the plan is we'll get some data from this event and roll it out across a broader scale within the SailGP group.
Our boats are powered by the wind, but now our batteries are charged by the sun. But we obviously want to be carbon neutral come 2025. This is a step in the right direction.
Lars of the Danish SailGP team in the mix zone, finishing in 5th with what could prove to be a vital 6 points. How was the race? How are you finding it against the gamers?
Ali, I think we lost Lars. Let's jump to the Netherlands.
This is like the Eurovision Song Contest, isn't it? Hidde in Amsterdam.
Hello.
Can you hear us? Yes, excellent stuff. So, congratulations. Your first big SailGP race, gamers against athletes, and you won it.
Yeah, it was a nice race.
Glad you enjoyed it. So, tell me how you're feeling about taking on the professional SailGP sailors.
It is, of course, really nice to sail to the SailGP sailors, like the best sailors on SailGP. And I really like sailing to reality sailors. It's really nice.
Okay, so one last question, Hidde. Victory in your first race. Are you confident you can do it again, and again?
It was a nice victory, but I see it race for race, not like first race and then all the races.
All right, Hidde. Good luck for the rest of the competition. We've got 2 more qualification races, of course, and match race final coming up with our 2 leading sailors after 3 races. Thomas, we've started well. We've started with a real battle both at the front and at the back.
Yeah, we start with a battle of the front and the back, and it's quite interesting to see, because the only reason why Neil he didn't win this race and didn't was in the loss is because something happened at that gate mark, or else he had the best start. And again, we are seeing the SailGP sailors doing a fantastic start and a fantastic downwind, and again they need to focus on upwind. But Joel getting second overall, I like. That's going to be a battle. We want the players to join in. We're waiting for all the players to join in to the next race. And when all the players are in there, we're getting ready for race number 2.
Yeah, they are fast and furious races. The EF50 mirroring the F50 in speed, possibly slightly more straightforward to sail, as we found out from the athletes who competed in this last competition. They haven't got to worry too much about the balance and the foils and all the rest of it, but it's still as thrilling as the real boat, certainly for us to watch. And it's good to see, Thomas, that the athletes are sort of stepping up to the mark, because in previous ones, we've kind of seen the gamers take control quite early on.
Yeah, and now we're just waiting for one gamer to join, one player to join in. That's Lars from Denmark. And when Lars is in the game, we are ready for race number 2. But I have to say one thing, Alec. I'm sure that we will experience that the SailGP sailors will win over the gamers.
Oh, you've predicted it now.
I predicted it. And
that's your prediction. I'm going to keep you to that. I'll remind you of that in a few races' time.
Yeah. We will just fast join into the server. I think we have some server glitches tonight, but that's how it is sometimes. This is race number 2, 50 seconds to the start. And see, I can see the players have their boundaries. It's just us don't have the boundaries, Alec, because these players are getting a penalty for being outside of the boundary at the moment. But here that's the
important thing, that they can see it. We can pretty much guess where they are. So us not seeing it isn't going to affect the game. So that's good. We're into the final 30 seconds of the pre-start. And a couple of penalties already sitting there for the Dutchman and the Spaniard. 15 seconds to go now. We have got our Russian, Ivan Zotov, in shot, and now our winner of the very first race, Hidde of the Netherlands. So 5, 4, here we go. They accelerate now, they catch the wind, they head off across that start line, and it looks like another good start for Neil Hunter with the British flag there on the sail. A penalty, though, for the Dane, but it is Hidde and Ivan Zotov out in front at the first mark.
But Neil Hunter is placing himself in a good position here in the downwind, but it is the youngster in the lead. Ivan Zotov coming in, but Joel in third. The SailGP sailors are giving a battle today. I predict we will see one of them in the finals today, Alec. I know, normally we don't predict, but this might be the issue today.
Okay, we'll see what happens as they head upwind for the first time, with Ivan Zotov of Russia out in front, followed closely by Hidde
but
of
he's
the Netherlands.
Almost getting a penalty. Got a penalty, Ivan, for sailing in front of Joel. That's what happened. So Joel taking over that position. See, very satisfied Spain. I've seen a lot of Spanish eyes, and that's a guy who wants to win.
So close now amongst the top 3, but already Neil Hunter, Ivan Zotov and Lars of Denmark really beginning to fall behind. They can't afford to fall back any further because it's so difficult with these fast, skittish boats to make up the ground.
But Neil, he's doing a great job. See, he's tacking in a good position. He's doing a less tack than rest of them and getting ready to tack towards the top mark, putting himself in a good position. But he doesn't have to ride away, so he's under pressure by Déjà. Déjà goes in front of covering him. And then in the background, we see Hidden coming first and Joel coming second.
Déjà, he's a laser sailor, very excited, I know, about taking on Neil Hunter. They're both Scottish, both sort of aware of each other's sailing. And Déjà Vu, known as Mike to his mates in real life, gives us a little look to the camera. But can he stay focused? He's got Neil Hunter right behind him. Can he stay in front in third place?
But see Neil here, he's so focused and he knows we are watching him. He's so focused on that mobile phone. See those fingers, they're almost sweating. And the most impressive part here, you can hear what we're saying to him. So he's even more sweaty now. But in the lead, it's Hidde from the Netherlands. It's Joel. I have to say, I'm impressed about this Spanish SailGP sailor. Will he join Jon Cardona in the grand final, in the qualifier final we're going to see here? That's top level what he's showing right now.
Yeah, and no one can put off the sailors better than you, Thomas, when you're commentating in their ear. Oh, across there, really close, Déjà Vu and Joel Rodriguez. Déjà Vu just staying out in front.
Yeah. But see, all the sailors coming up, it's only Lars having some issues. He's way behind. He got that penalty in the start, but all 5 here are in the battle for second, third, and fourth. Déjà Vu, Ivan Zotov. We have opposite side playing themselves good. Neil Hunter and Joel Rodriguez.
Really difficult race to call this. So close. It's really building up to a grandstand finish. And we're having a look at Joel Rodriguez there, the Spanish team.
Oh, he's crashing. Did you? No!
Just in front of him. Oh, and gives a penalty to Joel Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Flicks the penalty on the Spaniard. We're going to see him slow, and that's Déjà Vu's chance to try and get away from the chasing fleet.
Yeah. And that was a very nice tactic by Déjà Vu. Just managed to tack in front of Rail, and then Rail sailed into him and got penalty, but it's not over yet. They are going to battling each other still downwind. Ivan coming in, battle for third and fourth. Joel, Ivan Zotov, who will take it? See, so much focus in St. Petersburg at the moment. There he is.
But by the way, whilst we've been looking at this great battle for second and third and fourth, look who's out in front. Hidde, young Hidde of the Netherlands. And by quite a margin, out in front again and heading for his second victory of the night. Would you believe it? Déjà Vu second, Joel Rodriguez takes third. And Ivan Zotov right on his tail, but not close enough. He has to settle for fourth, and Neil Hunter is going to be fifth.
Yeah. And then we have Lars sitting in the dark. Lars, you're not alone. Trust me. I'm with you all the way as a Viking I am. You're not alone. But he had those 2 penalties in the start, having a hard time coming back. But this shows true sportsmanship that he finished the race. Great stuff by him.
So, do you have electricity in Denmark, Thomas?
Yeah, it is COVID time and we have electricity, but I know Lars, he's chosen to sit there so he can focus on the screen. But another victory to Hidde from the Netherlands, Déjà Vu in second, Joel in third, and that's going to be very interesting because Déjà Vu, Joel, and Ivan is going to battle for that second place in race number 3 that's coming up in a few seconds. Ivan in fourth, Neil Hunter in fifth, and Lars in sixth. And again, watching the stats, this time Neil Hunter, the best start again. I have to say, Neil is really doing a great stuff, but the reason why he lost this time is because the number of jibes. Jibes is downwind action. He did 9 of them. And every time you drive, you lose your maximum speed. You actually lose around 10 knots. And it takes 5 to 10 seconds downwind to come back in top speed. And that's a hardcore one for doing him. Maximum speed, Ivan Zotov, 49.2. And he also had the best wind speed. But it is Hidde sailing the shortest distance and taking the lead from start till the end. And there you can see when you're watching these stats how Neil Hunter actually had a hard time losing momentum after a penalty at the first mark, the reach mark, and then the rest of them came back in the race and took the battle to Neil Hunter. Great stuff, and let's get ready for race number 3.
The boats are powered by battery. We have a lot of electronics and hydraulics, and everything, all the pumps and hydraulic pumps run off battery power. So the only thing that's not powered by battery is the actual wing winch, which we have grinders that control that. The batteries are extremely important. It's kind of like our lifeline. If we don't have batteries that are charged, if we get low, nothing on the boat functions. So it's as simple as that. So previous season, we had generators that kind of ran overnight, that would charge our batteries on site. Now we have a container, 40-foot container, and there's a big bunch of solar panels, and basically during the day that charges the Tesla batteries, and then overnight we charge our boat batteries. So looking to be a lot more sustainable.
Charging through solar panels, it takes the same amount of time, but it's clean. So we're not running off diesel generators. We're using the power of the sun to charge these things, and it's a massive step up for us in terms of sustainability. Obviously, last year was our first season, and we were on a massive learning curve. And we've taken what we learned from last season and applied it to now, and this is where we've ended up. With the current racking system that we have, we've basically set it up so that each team has 4 batteries, so we can charge 32 batteries at any one time, all at the same time, all on the same level. So the capacity and the reserve energy that we have within the system is massive.
This setup, basically it's got to be completely mobile. We're only here for this regatta, we're here for 3.5 weeks. So everything comes in on the container, comes out, and has to be packed away within 3 weeks and off on the next ship to our next event.
As far as I'm aware, we're the first people to try it. We are trialling it on this container only at the moment, but the plan is we'll get some data from this event and roll it out across a broader scale within the SailGP group.
Our boats are powered by the wind, but now our batteries are charged by the sun. But we obviously want to be carbon neutral come 2025. This is a step in the right direction.
And Alec, what an interesting scoreboard we have here. Right now in the bottom we have Neil Hunter. He's currently in 5th position together with Lars. They have this internal battle, Lars and Neil, 11 points each. But see, Hidden the young talent, 20 points. Real Rodriguez, 17 points. Déjà, 17 points. Ivan Zotov, 14 points. So 3 players are battling to get into that final. But Hidden, he can also lose it. If he loses the race, get 5 or 6. And Déjà and Real gets 1st and 2nd. Then they are in the match race after race number 3.
Yeah, I mean, basically, if I'm not mistaken, the top 4 can all make the match race final, but it's going to be really tough for Ivan to get in there. But what a battle amongst those top 3, and only 3 points separating the leader from 2nd and 3rd, or Joel and Déjà Vu. So we shall see how that goes. We've got Neil in the picture there, though, because we want to speak to him. So Neil, a grinder in the last America's Cup. You're grinding now in SailGP for your 2nd season. But how does e-sailing compare? How are you finding it tonight?
It's pretty different, to be honest. Obviously, not usually at the wheel of the old F50. So it's a good opportunity to get my helming skills into some practice, I guess. But yeah, it's good racing. It's been pretty fun. Last few months being locked down. Some of the lads at Ineos have been getting into it a bit, and we've been doing some racing on a Thursday night, which has been cool.
Yeah, and we talk about you being a grinder, but your background is in a 49er amongst other boats. So tactically, how does e-sailing and eSailGP compare with being out on the water? I'm talking tactically, strategically.
I would say it's a fairly accurate representation of sailing, really. I mean, for people that are in more tactical roles on the boat, they're probably going to find it a little bit easier to slot straight into this, and that probably suit them a bit more. But for us grinders, it's probably not so much about picking the shifts up the course and more about how many watts you can produce. So not that surprising to find 2 of us at the back of the fleet, really, is it?
So within the sort of SailGP team and within your America's Cup team, is there a lot of e-sailing that goes on?
There's a little bit, to be honest. I guess there's been a little bit more since these races started happening, the SailGP races on e-sailing. So the lads have kind of had to up their game a little bit. Like Matt Gottrell had a race a few weeks ago, I know, and a few other lads have been doing some. So yeah, I guess people have kind of been forced to up their game a bit on the e-sailing.
Yeah, Matt gave us plenty of entertainment. That's for sure. Well, I'm glad you've enjoyed it. You've got you've got a fellow Scotsman in Déjà Vu, sort of trying to make it into that final. What's your advice to him?
All on for the top four by the sounds of it. Hopefully I don't spoil the party too much there. I mean, I don't think I'm actually in contention for the match race. Had a couple of shockers in the last two, so best of luck to those lads. Be interesting to see how it goes.
All right. Thanks very much. Let's bring Déjà Vu in, or Mike. So, how have you found it so far? You enjoying taking on the athletes? Are you surprised how well you gamers have done?
No, I was about to say that. I was just thinking that Joel was doing really good. He's been putting up a good fight, and so yeah, I've been struggling on the starts. They've been my main weakness so far. So hopefully I can fix that this race. But otherwise, yeah.
Do you think you're kind of learning anything by racing against the athletes?
I don't know. It's just I don't know
kind
if
of at
there's
a sort of tactical level. Have they done anything that's made you go, whoa?
Well, on the starts, they come from pretty low down to leeward, obviously to get leeward rights, and so it makes it a bit difficult if you're trying to get past them. But and so that's been quite interesting to try and navigate. But the rest of it is I've played this game probably a bit too much, and so encountered quite a lot of it before.
All right, so just finally, you're equal on points with Joel. Both of you chasing that other spot in the match race final. I mean, potentially, mathematically, you could both get it. How are you going to race this final qualification race?
Yeah, I'll keep an eye on where he is, but most of it will probably just be a good start. Don't need to get too zeroed in on what he's doing and ruin my own race. But yeah.
Okay, good luck.
Cool, thank you.
And Alec, what a young lad Déjà Vu is, or Mike, or Donovan. I know the gamers quite well, so for me it's Déjà Vu forever. Like I have my favorite part from Portugal.
It's funny because I'm quite happy calling him Déjà Vu. We're doing sort of. We've seen him, commentated on his races in lots of the top events. But when you've actually got him there, and he's called Mike, and you've got someone to look at, it's a bit weird calling him Déjà Vu, isn't it?
But let's get ready, Alec, to race number 3. It's coming up now. The players are ready, so let's start this regatta. And there we go. It's in the lead. We have lights in Denmark now. Lars is with us here. He's in there. Hello, Lars. And he's here. And this time, I crossed my finger for the Danish Viking. He had a good start. He was so unlucky getting those 2 penalties in the last race. He's not after this race, but he cannot win it. But Ivan, will he come in?
Well, Ivan, the 28-year-old from St. Petersburg. He's in the national Russian team in the 49er, hoping to qualify for Tokyo 2020. But is he going to qualify for the match race final here? He could potentially just about do it, but he's going to have to win this race. 22 seconds to go. The pressure is on. 4 of the 6 can all make it through to our final match race.
But there's a huge pressure on this Dutchman here. If he's making a mistake, and right now he's getting a slow start, Alec. If he's making a mistake and Joel and Déjà Vu is winning, he's out of the match race. Let's see what happens.
He was a little bit behind there, but he came through. He accelerated in those last few seconds. And so here they are at the first reach and the first mark, and round Déjà Vu goes. So an excellent start for the Scotsman. Joel Rodriguez in second, but picks up a penalty. And Ivan Zotov, remember, chasing that final match race. He's sitting in third.
Yeah. But that penalty for Joel, it was not because of bad racing. It was actually because he sailed so good he hit Hidden from behind. But he's not after the race. He's very close. Oh, a big turn coming in. But we also have an internal battle here for the honor. Lars-Peter against Neil Hunter. And I have to say, these two guys, that's the battle for the honor. And I trust that the Danish Vikings again will conquer Great Britain.
Ivan picked up a penalty at that bottom gate. That's cost him dear, and it's given Hidde the chance to move up into second place. Our overall leader in a good position to hold on to that overall lead. Déjà Vu, though, out in front.
And I have to say, Déjà Vu is one of the upcoming talents we have spoke a lot about in e-sailing communities. The last couple of weeks, he is winning tournament after tournament. And are he going to do it again? I know he's not been practiced the EF50, but he didn't think that boat was going to be a competition boat in that high level. But I have to say to Mike that this is the boat if you want to qualify directly to the World Championship. Then learn to sail this boat. Hidden in second.
Yeah, it's got to the stage now. I mean, it was a relatively new boat, 6 months ago, last year, but now there's plenty of opportunities to race it and to practice in it. So Déjà Vu already heading off on that leg, and you can see how far the leaders are ahead and how far they're ahead of Ivan Zotov, who's currently sitting in third. So at the moment, first and second in this race look like they will go through to the final match race.
And Joel penalizing Neil Hunter in that mark rounding. Sneaky penalty from the Spain, and that's winning the internal battle in between them. But so unlucky for Joel getting that penalty at the reach mark. And last time we had Athletes versus Game where we heard Taylor Camfield say, hey, it's like real SailGP. If you get a bad start, then you're having a hard time coming back in the race. And this is a good example of that. And here, Ivan
is running out of time and racetrack, but so too is Joel Rodriguez, who, remember, is trying to get up and somewhere up in that top 2 place. And it's looking unlikely now. He's running out of time.
And it looks like Neil is killing him.
Concentration there.
Yeah. But Alex, see the eyes here. As we talked about, he's not satisfied back home in Spain. Normally we see the Spanish, they are so focused. And one thing I have to say about the Spanish SailGP team, they are practicing e-sailing. We see Jorn Cardona, Diego Botin, and Joel Rodriguez going into the top of the e-sailing community. They are normally in top 100 in all qualifications, and we have seen them in top 10 in some of the SailGP qualifiers also. But back to the battle in the top. Déjà Vu, it looks like he's going to take a victory this time.
Yeah, Déjà Vu hitting 26 knots. Chooses this right-hand mark. Which way is the Dutchman going to go? He chooses the opposite side. And here comes Ivan in third place. But our two leaders in this race are going to be our finalists as things stand.
And while we're seeing that,
Go on, sorry, Thomas.
We just have a small battle here. Oh, it looks like Neil, he lost it. Can he come back to Joel? No, he can't, Joel. He just nailed it. But it's a victory for Déjà Vu. It's a second place for Hidden, third place for Ivan.
So great result for the young Scotsman, Déjà Vu. He wins the third race. And Hidde is second. And that means the two are going to go through to the match race final, our final race of this competition. And so it's the gamers all the way in this competition tonight. Joel Rodriguez eliminated, Neil Hunter eliminated, and Lars-Peter Rosendahl of Denmark also eliminated.
But again, let's just wrap up a little bit. Again, we see the SailGP sailors are so close, actually, tactical-wise, winning over the gamers. It's again the upwind race they're having some issues with, and then the gamers just know all these small penalties that we're seeing in the game, and that sometimes happens. Let's go to the scoreboard.
But it comes down to time on the virtual waters, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
That's all what it's about. And Déjà is one of those guys playing a lot of e-sailing at the moment. Hidden also. And as I remember, Hidden, he's 14 years old. So he has a big career in front of him in e-sailing. Ivan in third. Joel, so unlucky, getting those penalties, dropping him to fourth. Neil getting fifth. So Joel won the battle in the end. And Lars getting last. And don't look at 18 penalties. It's because he was outside of the mark of the boundaries in the start. But he got 2 penalties that was so costly. One rounding the reach mark and one at the gate mark. And that's how it is. But Déjà, best start, best average speed, sailed the shortest distance. But maximum speed, we have a record today. Joel Rodriguez hitting 50 knots, Alec. 50 knots. Wow. There we have it. And nobody could touch Déjà. And we can see, if you really watch the screen quite well, you can see Joel, he has this white line. And he got a penalty at number 2. That's in between the reach mark and the gate mark. And see, dropping down to 4th. And then he got a penalty again when he rounded that mark, the gate mark. That's between 2 and 3. Drops to 5th. But battling his way back, penalizing Neil at the top mark, getting 4th, but he couldn't catch Ivan coming in the last here.
I have a couple.
Yeah, I've got a little inner monologue that is definitely tied to mantras and like sayings, and yeah, I probably sometimes talk to myself out loud a little bit.
Smarter, not harder. You know, whenever you're trying to do something, you should always think about what is the smartest way to do this as opposed to taking on the hardest approach.
Just take every day as it comes, really. That's what I'm doing.
Never give up. Yeah.
I say stuff like a lot, like I have a lot of stuff that I say seems legit a lot. But I don't like live by mottos or mantras at all.
Nothing is given, everything is earned.
And the other one is that if it wasn't difficult, it wasn't even worth pursuing.
When I learned how to sail, I didn't really like it, but Dad just kind of threw me in the boat on the big winds, and he's like, well, just remember that, you know, when the going gets tough, the tough get going.
You will be remembered for the rules you break. Just wake up and work hard. Shut up and shell up.
Focus. That's one. Focus is definitely one.
No real mantra, you know, I just try to work as hard as I can and, you know, try to be the best I can every day.
You're in situations which you often are in life, whether it's in competition or in daily life, you're always going to challenge yourself. So you've got to be prepared for it to be difficult, and you've got to find the smart way to go about it. So if you live your life by those 2 things, which I try to do, you tend to be quite successful.
And Alec, what an interesting race we had here in the last time. We can see here that Hidden is going into the final with 29 points. Déjà just managed to win over Joel in that mark rounding. Both of them has the best start. Déjà came first, and then Joel, he came with such a speed. He sailed into Déjà, got a penalty, and that was so costly that he dropped down and only got 7 points in this race.
Yeah, and then Ivan Zotov finishing 4th, Neil Hunter 5th, and Lars-Peter in 6th. But yeah, terrific battles all round. There were battles within the kind of the bigger picture as well. Little competitions going on between Neil Hunter and Lars. So yeah. Good stuff. Really fascinating stuff. Let's get Joel in because he finished our highest placed SailGP professional. So our highest placed athlete in 3rd place. And Joel, I was just looking at your results. You were 2nd, you were 3rd, and then unfortunately you were fourth, so you just missed out on that match race final.
Yeah, that is. Was trying to do my best, but I was struggling to have control of the boat today. Yeah, I put it all and I to be in the match race final, but do it.
Now I know a lot of your teammates, SailGP teammates, also do e-sailing. So did they give you any advice or help before you started?
Maybe not now, not for today, but yeah, we have been training together and also discussing some maybe tactical points that I think is which is really good game, no, to do tactically, and yeah, we help between us a lot, but for maybe some time ago, not for now, but yeah, we help between us.
Okay, just a final question. I'm just wondering how your training is going at the moment. What's the situation as far as your sailing and getting out on the water right now is?
For me, the situation now is I'm training hard in my Olympic campaign. I'm sailing laser, and sailing laser, and training in the gym and in the bike, training physically hard to try to get fit, and we will see which races we are going to run, because we don't really know.
Okay, well, the best of luck with your training, and hope to see you on the SailGP boat again soon next season.
Great, thank you very much.
Okay, so let's have a chat with our finalists. First of all, Déjà Vu, congratulations! Terrific final performance, a victory.
Thank you very much.
So you actually did almost a kind of a reverse of Joel, who slipped down the rankings.
Yeah.
You started third, then you got a second, and then you got a victory.
Yeah, it was like a reverse 1, 2, 3. No, it was good. It was I was starting to learn the kind of tactics that they went for, and so I could adapt a bit. So yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, you do a lot of e-sailing, obviously. But what about this boat? The EF50. How are you finding that?
It's odd, but it's also really good fun. It's compared to the other boat, because it's so much quicker, but because it's a lot more zoomed out, it feels almost slower. Not slower, but it can turn quicker, even though it can't. But it's just because it feels like it, and so you gotta make your moves a little later and be a bit more careful with the steering. Like the no-go zone, as soon as you go above SVG, you just completely lose all speed, and so that's a pretty important part of it. But yeah, I really enjoy it. It's one that I haven't practiced as much as maybe the other ones, but it's a good one. So yeah.
Okay, thanks very much. Good luck for the match race final. Let's
Thank you very much.
chat with your opponent, Hidde, who's sitting in Amsterdam right now. So Hidde, you qualify as the overall leader, so well done. What will your tactic be in this final race when it's 1 against 1?
Yeah, my tactic, I think, to have a good start, try not to get protested.
Is it going to be aggressive or defensive?
I think I will just make it a fair game and not be too aggressive.
Okay, well, good luck. We'll see what happens. They always say that, don't they, Thomas? They always go, oh, we'll sit back. Well, I'm not going to be too aggressive. We'll follow the rules. And then once they start and the blood starts rushing, in they go.
Yeah. And then they go in to take it. We will be back with the match race just after this. But Alec, see one interesting thing here. One interesting thing coming up here is both of them are youngsters. It's the young team winning today. It's not these old guys that we're seeing, really grandmaster of e-sailing. I have to say, I'm making a little bit of fun because we're seeing a generation shift already in the game. This game has hit the youth. And when we're speaking about the youth, one of the biggest things that SailGP really doing a great thing is the Inspire program.
Oh, I love it. It's so much fun, especially when I'm on the water and I can see all the boats from so close. And for me, who sails, it's like a dream, really. So my name is Caroline, and I work here on water operations. So I had applied in the past to different sailing opportunities like that, but people usually wouldn't even apply because I'm young and I don't have much experience. And I've been told that there's this Inspire Careers program, and I thought it was a really good opportunity. Most of my responsibilities are just looking around the ribs. I check that there's enough petrol, just like check the power, put the motors down and up. And then during the day we go on the water and I stay with safety 1 or 2. Control. This is safety 1.
The Inspire program is great for young people. As you get older, you realise that these people need an experience, and we try and give them a little bit of time because we know in the long term it's going to help them out. 7 out of 10.
This Inspire Careers Week I think will enable me to learn more about SailGP, but also hopefully maybe get a job here. I think it would be the dream job for me.
And Alec, we are just waiting for the players to join in. And while we're seeing that, there is Déjà Vu and Hidden. And right now we are seeing them joining in here to the final in a few seconds. And they are just in this private arena. When we're seeing this game, then we can see Virtual Regatta has developed a lot of cool things. Private arenas, they have developed the game also, but here they're playing in a private arena. And what's going to happen?
What is going to happen? We shall see. The clock hasn't started counting down yet. What's the weather doing in Denmark? You told me it was, is it nice there?
It's very good. It's sunny. It's like when we're watching this game here in the virtual waters. Fantastic weather.
Because it's a horrible, wet, miserable night in London, and I'm looking out across these waters in New York and thinking the virtual world seems a pretty nice place to be right now on these waters. The conditions are perfect for an exciting final match race tonight. So who is going to get it? Déjà Vu's gone pink with the sails, and Hidde is still with his black sail. So 30 seconds to go. They haven't engaged yet. Hidde seems to want to sort of stay out of trouble on that side. Déjà Vu just slowing his boat right down with 20 seconds to go. So they said, that they were just going to play it clean and play it safe. I haven't seen any aggression or any attack yet, or maybe a little bit of a challenge there from Déjà Vu in this pre-start. 5 seconds to go, and we're going to see them accelerate away now, and Déjà Vu has the start. Can Hidde make it back as they rush towards this first mark? A little bit of a zigzag from Déjà Vu. It starts to defend his position, but he's round that mark in first.
Yeah. And this is a quite interesting tactics. This is the first time where we don't see the sailors killing each other in the start, being aggressive. Here they're side by side, everything is open. And the reason why you saw Déjà Vu doing the zigzag was because you want to be on the inside of the mark rounding zone. Because if you're on the inside, you have the right of way. But a split coming up, Alec. This is interesting.
Well, something had to happen. They couldn't just follow each other down the course. So Hidde has split away and come up this right-hand side with Déjà Vu going up the left. But they're going to come together. And we're going to see them crossing up and down all the way up this leg now. 55 seconds of this race completed. And still a long, long way to go. And it is still so close.
And it is very close. See that cross here. Déjà Vu still in the lead in front of Hidden. And he's going to the right-hand side, to the right ley lines. And the ley lines are these dotted marks you see. Reason why Déjà Vu is going over here is because if he can get a good angle, we can't see the boundaries, but he will hit the boundaries in a few seconds. Then he can get a straight angle up towards the top mark. And if he can get that angle in, then he doesn't need to do an extra tack. And right now, he managed to do it.
Yeah, so Déjà Vu tacking there right on the ley line, the most efficient way to get to the mark. And Hidde is now losing ground on the Scotsman, who is up at 33 knots, a good 5 knots faster than the Dutchman. And somewhere, Hidde is going to have to find some extra speed from somewhere.
Yeah, and Déjà Vu, he instead of just racing away, he jibes to the right-hand side just to come into the angle, and losing a little bit of momentum. See, Hidde, wow, 52.7, the fastest speed we have today, Alec. He's hitting it, and he's getting closer and closer to Déjà Vu. But isn't it too late? We don't know.
I said he'd have to find some speed from somewhere. He certainly did, and broke the records. Yeah. Déjà Vu still out in front, though. And look, the Dutchman just rounding the mark just now. But he's got that gap down to around about 100 metres. Halfway through the race.
Yeah, and see the focus. Hidden is so focused now. He's watching up, and in the opposite side we see Déjà Vu dancing a little bit, like, hey, I'm up and going. And right now he's getting ready. Oh, he's taking the covering tactics, Alec. That's interesting. We have seen that before, and that can actually lose the race for him.
We shall see. Yeah. We shall see. Hidde just wondering what to do next. I think that was the look on his face. He sort of looked up and was like, okay, I've tried this, I've tried that. He's covering me now. What am I going to do? What can I do now to challenge a Déjà Vu and put extra pressure on him and maybe even force a mistake?
Yeah, and we saw last time Athletes versus Gamers. At this point, Pippa D'Amato and Bartlett Briggs came up. One of them hit the mark. Oh, Déjà Vu almost hitting the mark also. But he stayed clear and now races for the reach mark and then to the finish line.
So time has pretty much run out for Hidde in Amsterdam. The lad, the 14-year-old who has done so well through the previous 3 races and has really dominated the field until now. He is beaten because our winner in the Gamers Against Athletes here in SailGP is Déjà Vu from Scotland. He crosses the line at 45.5 knots and Hidde will be second. So celebrations for the man sitting in Aberdeen tonight. The aeronautical engineer has flown to victory here on the waters in New York.
And well done by Déjà Vu. And of course, we just lost his picture. Let's just get him straight into studio here. Wow, we got him back, Alec. See how happy he is. He hasn't changed anything. There's a smile coming up. Congratulations with the victory, Déjà Vu.
Thank you very much. Yeah, well, it was a close race.
Well done. It was close, but it's often said that whoever wins the start wins the finish, and that's exactly what happened. Did you feel some pressure from Hidde?
Yeah, for sure. It was quite obvious to me that Hidde was wanting the leeward side, and so I thought I'll just park it in front of him and try to get time to line good. I managed to get the line just as the go gun went, and so I was pretty happy with it. And then, I don't know if you saw me weaving a bit, I was trying to maybe give him a pen so I could run away, but he did well, so.
Yeah, well, well done. Congratulations. And I know that you normally study at the University of Southampton, but because of the lockdown, you're currently at home in Aberdeen. So are you going to go down and celebrate with your family? Or are they completely oblivious to your e-sailing career?
I mean, they know that I enjoy it and that I play it, but no, they don't know I'm racing at the moment. So I told them to not be downloading anything.
Yeah. You're on that damn machine again.
Yeah. But yeah.
Okay, well, congratulations. Well done. And I know we're going to see you again in some more of these competitions in the future. So congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And Alec, what a victory we just had here with Déjà winning it, the most upcoming talent we have seen the last couple of times. And Alec, interesting how the youngsters are coming back in this race and winning it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, in the past, there's been this big debate, hasn't there, in e-sailing about, is it better to be kind of older and more experienced, or is it better to be younger with faster reflexes and stronger thumbs? I don't know. But certainly, we've seen the sort of average age of the top gamers come down considerably in the last 12 months. So, congratulations to them, and congratulations to Hidde. We haven't had a chance to catch up with him since the end of that race. But 14 years old to appear live in front of thousands of people around the world, to compete against professional sailors that he's only ever seen on TV before, and to make the final and then challenge so well. That's a real talent for the future.
But also an interesting tactics, because here we could see the difference from the routine sailors and the youngsters. He didn't went in and went aggressive. He didn't do what we normally see in a real match race, where he get close to the other one, covering them in the start. He placed himself in the left-hand side, saying, hey, in this game I need to be on the inside when we're coming in. I need to come with speed from the start. And there we can see a little bit more from Déjà. He was a little bit more routine in that way. Both of them are sailors, so he has been tried this a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I think Hidde will probably be asking himself, was that tactic right? And the answer is probably no. He probably needed to take that start more to Déjà, really. Déjà was just given the start line, wasn't he? So I'm sure he's learned from that, and I think we'll see a far more aggressive Hidde next time.
Yeah, we will. And a last thing, Alec. Today we almost saw a SailGP sailor in the final. Another Spain. And I have to say, we have 3 top SailGP sailors from Spain. Diego Botín, Jon Cardona, and Joel Rodriguez. Wow. Yeah. If they continue doing that, they can beat the e-sailors like Bartle and Briggs. They also came in as a top sailor and came directly to the World Championship.
Yeah, but I tell you what will be interesting, as the lockdown eases around the world, and I mean, you're talking about the Spanish sailors, but this works for all nationalities, really. As they spend more time on the water and therefore have less time to practice the e-sailing, are we going to see the gamers dominate more and more? Be interesting to see, won't it? A few months from now.
Yeah. And with that said, Alec, thank you for night to all of you out there. This is Thomas Bjørnluthi and Alec Wilkinson saying good night, goodbye, and good day to some of you from Athletes v Gamers. And remember one thing, if you want to play the EF50 yourself, the event is on right now on Virtual Regatta Inshore, the app. You can go straight in. There's 4 days of practice, and then there's 2 days of qualification, where top 8 will go straight in to the qualifier final, and trying to win that one spot. There are 2 spots left to the grand final that gives a direct spot to the World Championship 2020 or 2020. Wow. With that said, Alec, thank you for tonight.
That's it. Good night.
Good night.
I have a couple.
Yeah, I've got a little inner monologue that is definitely tied to mantras and sayings, and I probably sometimes talk to myself out loud a little bit.
Smarter, not harder. Whenever you're trying to do something, you should always think about what is the smartest way to do this, as opposed to taking on the hardest approach.
Just take every day as it comes, really. That's what I'm doing.
Never give up. Yeah.
I say stuff a lot. I have a lot of stuff that I say seems legit a lot. But I don't live by mottos or mantras at all.
Nothing is given, everything is earned.
And the other one is that if it wasn't difficult, it wasn't even worth pursuing.
When I learned how to sail, I didn't really like it, but Dad just kind of threw me in the boat and the big winds, and he's like, well, just remember that when the going gets tough, the tough get going.
You will be remembered for the rules you break. Just wake up and work hard. Shut up and show up.
Focus. That's one. Focus is definitely one.
No real mantra, you know, I just try to work as hard as I can and, you know, try to be the best I can every day.
You're in situations which you often are in life, whether it's in competition or in daily life, you're always going to challenge yourself. So you've got to be prepared for it to be difficult, and you've got to find the smart way to go about it. So if you live your life by those two things, which I try to do, you tend to be quite successful.